Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Now Experts Time channel. In this channel, we had a lot of discussion with respect to ServiceNow functionalities, out of box solutions, tips, tricks. Those are all the things we discussed in the uh, previous videos. So when you have a time, please refer those videos. I hope it will support for your real business landscape. So, in this session, we are going to talk about our CMDB governance. To manage that CMDB governance, what are the functionalities are there, how it is going to support to maintain your CMDB maturity. Those are all the things we are going to discuss. In the previous video, the same type of topic we discussed, but there is a one more catchy point there, that is attestation policy, how it is supporting to maintain your CMDB maturity in your business landscape. The extension of that session. So here we are going to talk about this retire policy. So before see this video, if you see the previous video, that is attestation policy, how it is working, then this video is pretty much helpful and easy to understand and implement in your business landscape. So what is retire policy here? So the retire policy specifically helping to deactivate that or remove that end of life CIs. How we can identify that end of life CIs? That it can be addressed via your attestation policy. So when that CI is attested, that means it is in activated, it is in live, it is working in your business live environment. When that CI it is rejected, attestation status is rejected. I'm just opening that item. CMDB CMDB underscore CI dot list list. So before that, I just created one of the PPT to explain this information. I'm just opening that item so that you can easily connect the dots very efficient manner. So last session, I started with this attestation policy slide. Then we went to the demo, and similar way, we are talking about the retire policy. Then we will discuss about the certify policy. So in this retire policy, this is a slide. It explains that information. What CIs we are going to focus in the retire policy is, if the CIs are attested, that attestation status is rejected, those CIs we are focusing as a retire policy. And before defining this retire policy, there is a one more table we need to define to explain that end of life of our CI. So what configuration we need to do, those information we are defining in this table itself. Next, as usual item, CMDB workspace data manager policies, and you need to configure the retire management policies. Second is, this retire management is assigned to whom, that information is also we need to bring that item in the policy itself. And config retire subflow, this is one of the catchy item, because when you talk about this retire subflow, it is an out of box flow. So no need to create any flow from your side. So you use or tag that retire subflow in your policy, remaining item it will do as it is. So once this policy is created, schedule job will be created in the backend, and you just manually run that schedule job. Then what are all the configurations you have enabled in that policy, by default it will execute and it will show the result in your business landscape. So this is a way normally it will work in your ServiceNow landscape. So now we directly go to the system, may that will help you to understand further. So here you can see here you can see the attestation status, and this retire policy we can define in the server, because that attestation policy I defined in the server class. I just open, so I just put a filter here. Class is a server, class is server. So attestation policy we already written into the server class, so it is working as it is. Then if you open this, you can see the attestation status. It is like not yet reviewed, like that. So if this is reviewed, then you can come to the conclusion, then these CIs are going to retire. For example, you just see this is a attested and rejected status. So to execute this item, what we need to do is you just go to the CMDB. There is a task we already assigned this in this attestation task based on your attestation policy. Click open. Total to attest is 3 CIs we have attested. That's all. So we need to attest the remaining CIs, because uh, almost 300 CIs are there. 100 CIs part of your server classes. Out of 100 CIs we have attested only 3. So just to group by attestation status, it shows a not yet reviewed. Now we go there, assign to me. The CI is assigned to us. Now I'm just doing the review CI attest. So only these 3 Is are not attested. I'm just enabling this. CIs are attested now, and I'm just submitting. That means I'm just closing. Three CIs are attested. So now you can see 3 attested, 97 is not reviewed. So what I need to do is, again I just go there and check what are all the CIs are not reviewed. So I need to run the job, I need to execute this, so that we can come to the conclusion which CIs are rejected, those CIs I need to focus. So again I'm going back to this home, data manager, policies. Here attestation policy. So this one is today executed. I'm just opening this. So how many CIs are there? Total 100 CIs are there. So what I can do is I can update this CIs as a attested one. This is open. So I'm opening this task. So total to attest is 97. Here you can see 97 needs to attest. 3 is all 3 already attested. What I will do, I just assign to myself. Task is assigned to me. Now I review to attest. So those 97, I don't want to attest all 97. So just assume it, I'm taking only 90 is attested, remaining 7 are rejected. I'm just putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm attesting only the 90. So 90 is attested now. So remaining seven is not attested. So I have a plan, this is not available in my landscape. So what I'm just doing, so you can see showing 1 of 7. If you go and refresh here, how many attested, how many here, 93 it is attested, and not yet reviewed is 7. So what I have a plan is, these 7 CIs are not available, I'm just rejecting. So I put a condition, CIs are not exist. So I'm rejecting now. It is successfully rejected. So now this CMDB task activity is done. So 97 CIs I need to do that activity, attest and reject. So I'm just closing this, submit this attestation. So it is successfully submitted. So 90 attested, 7 rejected. That clarity, it is clearly defined here. So now what we need to do is, you just reference in this CMDB CI table, and you can see the result. 93 is attested, 93s are attested, 7 items are rejected. So you have a clarity. So now what we need to do is, this 7 CIs, 7 rejected CIs, we need to retire it. So to define that condition, the same behavior we need to do it. Go to your data manager. Now what you need to do is, here you need to create the policy. So scroll down, these are all the published policies are there. Only 5 policies are there. 1-5 out of 5, 3 sorry 4 certification policy, 1 attestation policy. Certification we will discuss in the next session. Now we talk about this retire policy. I created retire policy. Now I just type net retire rejected CIs from server. What is a policy type? Here the policy type is retire. What notes you want to add, you just write it. It's like a theory information, you just write what you want. I just click a continue button. So here I need to define that condition, which CIs I am going to retire. So first is, I need to define the class is a server. So you can write a policy based on the class itself. So how many classes you have, how many classes you want to evaluate, those items also you can bring in this CMDB policies. I think the system is little slow. Something is slow now. I just type class is server. Class is server. So I'm just calling the parent class, not the child class here. Yes, and I'm applying the one more condition called attestation status. Attestation status is rejected. So server class, the attestation status is rejected. I am focusing only this item. This is my filter condition. I am applying my filter here. What it should do is, it should show only the 7 record. So included record, it's showing a 7. So these 7 records I need to retire it. So I'm just doing this retire now. Just clicking the continue button, and I'm selecting the user group field. I'm selecting the task managed by group. What is the usage of this managed by group? I have already explained this attestation session, so please check that. That will help you. Then I'm just clicking the subflow. This subflow I just mentioned, retire configuration item. I can show you where it is available. Just go in this workspace again, type CMDB workspace, sorry, go to the CMDB workspace here. There is a retire policy, archive policy, everything it is there. So you select, this is part of your retire policy. I'm selecting only the retire subflow, and I'm just putting a needs review. Then finally, the retire policy schedule needs to be enabled. So it's successfully enabled here. So I'm just publishing this policy. So now you can see earlier it was a 5, it should show a 6 item. I'm just doing the refresh. So here you can see the retire policy what I have created, and what are all the out of box subflows are available to support this CMDB item, that also you need to understand it. uh, I'm just explaining that info, maybe that will help you in future sessions also. So if you come here, there is a subflows or separate sections are there. These subflows are using in your CMDB policies. So currently we talk about this retire policy. So the retire configuration item, it is configured from this subflow. It is already available. Similar way, other archive policies, delete policies, what you are talking, those CIs related subflows already exist. You need to call that subflow in your policy so that it will work. So what I need to do is I need to check that schedule job it is created or not. So before that, I'm just selecting that published policy name. I'm just going for this schedule job. Just opening in the separate tab. I'm going and checking that information here. I'm just copy paste that name, hit enter, put star. What happened? Why it is not published? Let's check. I'm just clicking this view policy. Go to the schedule, because this schedule only it will have the schedule job name. To change the schedule, okay, so retire policies are evaluated once a day as defined the schedule job. So here just put a processor, hit enter, star. Policy attestation policy processor. Type retire, hit enter. So here you can see that retire policy information, that means CMDB data manager retire policy processor. This schedule job it is taking responsibility to change that state as retired. So I'm just manually running it because this is already scheduled everyday basis. So I'm just doing a manual execution. Let's see how it is behaving. So in this operational status, you can see these various number of status, operational, non-operational, like that. Here the last state you can see it is retired. So once the job is executed successfully, then this CI will automatically change the status as retired one. So this is a way it will work. So before that, we need to talk one important topic, that is called the definition of your retirement scenario. So filter condition we define it, but in each class wise we need to define this definition. So where we need to define this definition is, there is a table called CMDB retirement custom definition. So here you can define your definition. So here I just mentioned the CMDB CI server. This class, when the attestation status is rejected, then this will applicable. So based on this condition only it will work. So if you want to define this CMDB retirement custom definitions, you can define it, so that it will easy to identify that item, because everything it is tightly coupled with your CMDB policies. So better you configure this item. Based on this configuration it will work as expected. So be please very careful here when you define this conditions, and when you execute this job, you need to be very careful, because if it runs in your non-prod environment, that is not a problem, but when it is focusing in the production environment, this will create a major impact. So I hope you guys are enjoyed the session, how the retirement policy is working in your scenario. So every day you just check this each item, it will show the clarity, how many jobs it is running, how many records it is impacting based on this job. Everything you can easily identify it. So stay tuned this channel to understand more information. I hope you guys are enjoyed this session to learn the niche ServiceNow topics. This is the right channel to explore it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your interest. Good day and goodbye.